What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV, man. And the number one topic today is VLADTV the police? Is he the police? Is he the feds? Or is he not? Now, this question has been a prominent question for years now. It's been swirling around the internet for a long time. People have been saying that Vlad is the feds for years. But due to recent circumstances, like rappers who were prominent guests on Vlad TV's platform being locked up, currently, a lot of people are looking at Vlad sideways and saying, is he a connection to the police? Is he connected to law enforcement directly? Right? Casanova 2X and AR Ab were both prominent guests on Vlad's platform. They revealed a lot of their street tales, a lot of their street dealings on the platform, and now they both are currently locked up. And people looking at it funny. Is Vlad the police? Is he one of them people, right? In my humble opinion, no, I don't believe Vlad is the police, right? However, if you are a street rapper, excuse me, and you brag about being such, if you brag about your street endeavors and your music, and you brag about being in street and interviews and so on and so forth, he would love for you to come on his platform and openly talk about your street antics on his platform. He would welcome it. He would absolutely welcome it. He wouldn't turn down the chance to do that. And if you come on his platform, he's going to try to get you to reveal a lot of your street antics. Why do you ask? Why does he do that? Because he knows that's what his viewers want to hear. He knows his viewers are enticed by street tales. They are enticed by all these dudes' hood stories. They want to hear every single thing that these dudes did on they come up in the streets because that is entertaining to them, right? And he knows the best way to create a buzz around his platform is for them to tell those street tales. Let's be honest, man. People in America, a lot of the people people that watch Vlad's platform, a lot of people are people who are far removed away from their street life. You got people that are connected to the street life that watch Vlad's interviews. Vlad got a wide range of, he got a wide following. People from all walks of life watch Vlad TV. But there are a big segment of his followers who never will be connected to those street antics in their life. And they get a kick out of hearing these stories. It's entertaining for them. So they want to hear all these gangster chronicles. They love to gather around and hear the bad guy's story, right? Because most of them will never be close to that. So if Vlad got an opportunity for you to come on and talk about this, he's going to try to get you to talk about it because it's going to create all this big following and buzz on his channel. You know what I mean? And he's operating in the way that most mainstream media platforms operate in. They do whatever it takes to get clicks and views. If he knows that if he can get Casanova 2X to talk about what he did when he was in jail, what he did to get in jail, what he's been doing since he's been out of jail, what he did that was like what type of empire he was leading, if he can get him to talk about that, he's gonna do it with no regard to, oh my God, is this gonna get you in trouble or so on and so forth, because he is concerned with monetary gain, which is his channel succeeding. And that's how most media platforms rock. And I'm sorry to tell y'all this, but I know it because I went to school for communications. So I know how people are, the end game or the goal is for you to gain riches. It's for you to really, however you can gain money, the best way to gain money is from viewership. And viewership comes from clickbaiting titles, from if a person is a 10-minute interview and in a 30-second clip they talk about something that would be clickbait, like a clickbait title. If they talk about something that would be interesting to the public eye or something that, oh my God, it's a headline grabber, they're gonna put that as the title because they know it's gonna grab your attention to watch the video. Same thing that Vlad does. You know what I mean? So that's what he's out to do. He's out to get his channel to be buzzing and create the most revenue he can create. And if he can generate revenue off of the backs of these street rappers, he gonna do that. If they gotta tell their tales for him to get views, he not gonna be opposed to it. He not. You know what I mean? Like, what 50 Cent say? America got a thing for this gangster shit. So people are gonna want to hear these dudes' wildest stories. You know what I mean? They can be, oftentimes we can see on Netflix specials or Netflix series on TV, on Netflix or Hulu. They want to hear all that crazy wild stuff. You know what I mean? So again, Vlad operating as a media company, he's trying to create buzz in the best way he can. You know what I mean? So he gonna try to talk about whatever he gonna try to turn into that topic whatever way he can. And me, right, being a black young man too, I don't like certain things that Vlad has done. I don't like, you know what I mean, the situation that he had going on with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And they, even outside of me just being black with this stuff, I don't like how, I don't like how he was asking Chi Ali certain questions about the situation, like his street dealings and all that type of stuff, and what he was doing since he got out, and like, you know, because Chi Ali was found guilty of killing his baby mother's brother, right? And so, you know, he was talking about all the events that led up to that and things that he was doing before he went to jail, before they caught him, and all type of stuff. And Vlad was openly just asking him stuff, and I'm like, damn, that ain't something you should. I wouldn't ask that, man. That's not really cool to be asking. I didn't like that. I didn't like how he interviewed the dude. What's the dude name? The dude that killed Bankroll Fresh. I thought that was very distasteful. You know what I mean? I think that was very insensitive for him to do. Right? It was some other things that he has done that I I know I didn't agree with. I'm trying to think of something else that he did that I really didn't agree with him doing. And but he will do it because he knows it's going to create a following. He gonna try to do whatever he can to get a following, man. He gonna ask the questions about all the street shit that the artists have done because people who view his platform most want to hear it. Let's be real. The most outlandish content the most outlandish content on social media or whatever, no matter how unsavory it is, no matter how insensitive it is, it gets the most views. Which is why we see videos of the cartel shooting and killing people and beheading people on Facebook. And those videos are they generate the most likes, the most comments, the most shares. People like hearing or seeing outlandish stories for their own entertainment. And the way Vlad moves, again, is how majority of these mainstream media networks operate, right? Now, in order to avoid these things, the street rappers, they don't have to go in here and reveal nothing to Vlad about their street endeavors. They don't have to talk about nothing they've done. They can act like they don't know what Vlad talking about. They can play dumb. They could say next question. They can say, let's move on to something else. They can say, I'd rather not talk about that. If y'all ever seen Vlad interview Pee Wee Longway, right? Y'all know the I think Pee Wee from Atlanta-based rapper Pee Wee Longway. Vlad was trying to get into his street dealings, and Pee Wee Longway was acting like he didn't have a clue of what Vlad was talking about. Let's go into something. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea. That's how Pee Wee Longway was moving in order for Vlad to move on and get off that and just talk about the music, him meeting Gucci Mane, him meeting so on and so forth, and his career bubbling, so he can get them on track to talk about something that he wanted to talk about, right? So you can get the interview to go in the way that you want to go with Vlad as long as you don't open up that can of worms in talking about all your street dealings. You don't have to talk about none of that, right? When AR was on there, Ab get on there, and listen, I grew up listening to AR Ab because I was a big fan of Cassidy, and he was on Cass's mixtapes all the time, right? So I grew up, I thought AR Ab was a dope rapper, right? But Ab get up there, and Ab talking about how his Connect gave him his whole operation and all that type of stuff, how his plug gave him his whole operation, and he's saying this stuff on Vlad. I'm like, bro, come on, man, this is gonna go down the drain. And these prosecutors, when they're trying to lock these rappers up, they're going to try to take any bit of evidence, any piece of anything, any piece of information to bring it together to get a rapper convicted. That's what happens, right? They do it in their own music. They play these rappers' own music in court. So of course, if they're talking about it on Vlad, they're going to go and try to find an internet clip and put it to play it for the courtroom to hear. They're going to try to get that as evidence to whatever the situation the rapper has got going on. That's just how the criminal justice system works, period. I don't think it's Vlad giving them the information or giving them, here's information for this guy. Here's information for that guy. It's just that's how the police move. That's how they operate. They're going to try to figure out, listen, when he had to say something incriminating on some of these interviews he's done. They've heard about Vlad TV's platform before you know what I'm saying? So they're like, look, he probably going to say something in one of these interviews to reveal some information. They became privy to the fact that artists become comfortable talking to Vlad when they one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? They get comfortable on that platform because a lot of times these artists status elevate after going on Vlad because, Vlad got a big following. So they want to reveal the most craziest, authentic stories that they can in order to gain a following. You know what I mean? So they oftentimes end up just saying any and everything, naturally just talking about everything and get themselves in trouble. You know what I mean? Casanova Casanova 2X was on there. He was talking about all type of stuff he was doing when he was running through New York. Everything he was doing, he was talking about all of it, right? And, you know, of course, they're going to listen to that to see, hey, what type of character this dude got? What he doing? What type of stuff he dibbling and dabbling in? And that's what they did. You know what I mean? So I don't think Vlad is directly the police, but him operating in the best interest of his media platform, no matter, in his best interest, he don't give a damn what happened to, you know, this guy, that guy. If they reveal some information that's going to mess them up and all of that. Me personally, how I will operate as a media platform, I would care. I'm not trying to get nobody locked up and sent away all for the sake of my business because, I don't know, you know me, I operate on a different wavelength. That's just me. I operate off a different wavelength. I was raised in a different environment. I'm not trying to get nobody caught up in no situation for the sake of views for my channel. I would rather that person, you know what I mean, talk about some things that he would want to talk about, their career, their come up story and all of that, rather than get them into some trouble, rather than get them to reveal information that can get them in some trouble, right? You know what I'm saying? And Vlad, if he feel like, and Vlad, when he talking to them, if he feel like it's going to get them in trouble, he could say, hey, this, you know what I'm saying, statute of limitations up on this stuff, this type of information. Because if not, I don't want to keep this in here, right? And maybe Vlad does it, maybe he doesn't. But he keep it in there, and hey, it is what it is. But what my point is that I can't say Vlad the police because the police gonna try to find any interview or any song as evidence to get these dudes in trouble. That's what they do. That's their job, fam. They was listen, when Boosie got in trouble, they was playing Boosie lyrics in court. And it was from his own songs. So are you gonna say Boosie the police himself? Is he, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like it's certain information that when you go on these platforms, including Vlad's, these dudes has been into all type of street antics. You don't gotta reveal none of that to him. You don't got to talk about none of that. You can keep it moving like PB Longway, move on to something else, keep it pushing, and that's it. That's all. That's the end all be all of it, right? You don't have to engage with Vlad on them topics, right? And so, yeah, like me, Vlad has brought a lot of entertaining interviews to the forefront for the people. He's brought guests on there that we haven't heard from in a long time. Guys that we may have been wondering what happened to this guy, what happened to that guy. And, you know, he does... I'm sure he has introduced people like TK Kirkland to a wide group of, like, a huge audience, right? He put TK Kirkland in that position to be, you know, to not put in the position because TK's talent put him in that position, but he put a lot of people onto put TK on a lot of people's radar who may have never even heard of him, right? Same thing with a lot of other people that come on, Lord Jamar, so on and so forth. But Lord Jamar ain't fooling with it because they looking like, nah, you're not going to talk down and misconstrue the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's words and then don't apologize for it and let it ride. They got more integrity than that, so they ain't going to go on there no more. You know what I'm saying? Because you're disrespecting the leader within the black community. They ain't riding with it, so on and so forth, right? But being honest, a lot of people had never even heard of Lord Jamar before they came on there. So yes, he has introduced the world to a lot of different individuals in hip-hop, in entertainment media, so on and so forth, right? But yes, but there are things that I don't like that he's done, and I have voiced my opinions about it. Like with Jeff Owens that would play Alvin on The Cosby Show. When Vlad was basically trying to talk down about him for working in Trader Joe's and how do you not have money saved up and so on and so forth. Like everybody is not as educated on certain topics as maybe you may be. You don't know people's life circumstances, what may have transpired in their life for them to be, you know, in that situation. And regardless if Jeff Owens is working in Trader Joe's or not, he's making an honest living, trying to feed his family and take care of himself as best as possible. He's not sitting on the couch soaking in misery, getting drunk every single weekend or getting high because he can't, you know, he's not where he once was. He was doing something about it and trying his best to provide the legal way, which is something that I salute a massive man. Doing something the legal way to try to, you know, legally trying to take care of your family. That's a man, and I'm gonna always respect that and salute that any day of the week. So I strongly dislike when Vlad did that, right? You know what I'm saying? I didn't like when he interviewed the dude that killed Bankroll Fresh. You know, again, I talked about it already. There's certain things that I don't like that Vlad has done, but I cannot just say he is strictly law enforcement or the police, because the police, again, are going to look for any and everything they can to get these dudes locked up. If VLADTV got information on it, where these rappers are revealing all this type of stuff, they going to listen to that interview, and they going to use that as evidence. That's how they get down, y'all. Like, I know, you know what I'm saying, people want to, you know, I don't think that or don't believe that, but that's just how it works, man. That's how it works, y'all. And yeah, man. And the same way he got Freeway Rick Ross coming on there, he want to create a buzz because he knows that people like hearing these stories. They love hearing these topics about all these street stuff. They love hearing street chronicles, hood, street, gangster chronicles. People love that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? They love it more than stocks and bonds type of information. And Vlad know that shit because when he put them interviews about stocks and bonds, people don't gravitate to it the same way they do the street tales. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. But again, the rappers, and I'm not excusing Vlad for the questions that he asks at all because I don't like a lot of the questions that he asks people. Like, damn, they can get him hemmed up, have him looking real bad and put him in a bad situation or a bad spot. And I've seen rappers almost do that in other interviews like The Breakfast Club. And The Breakfast Club has decided to edit out certain parts of the interview not to get guys in trouble with certain situations, right? Or if they say, look, we don't want to get you in trouble, and the rappers say, oh, no, it's cool. It's, you know what I'm saying, statute of limitations is up on this situation. That case is over and done with. It is what it is. I'm done. I'm a free man. I served my time for that. We can talk about it. They say, okay, cool. Now, Vlad don't say that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he do it before the interview or what, but shit, he keep the stuff in. You know what I mean? So I respect how the Breakfast Club moves in that situation. But I know that Vlad is trying to move in the best interest of his company, not in the best interest of these artists as well. So, I mean, it's up for them to talk about it. You know what I mean? So if you don't want something to come back on you later, you know, my best advice to the street rappers who have engaged in a lot of street endeavors and a lot of street activity, don't talk about it on there. And none of these interviews don't talk about none of it, right? Keep it. If you want to talk about it, then keep it in your music. When the people ask you, say it's entertainment. It's for entertainment purposes. But when you get on there and Vlad and you saying, look, you trying to be as honest as possible because you want people to look at you as authentic. You want your image to maintain authenticity because people are drawn to that and it's going to help your fan base. People just get in there and just start revealing every piece of information and saying, hey, look, if I'm lying and I'm dying, man. I ain't lying about none of this. This ain't made up. This ain't fabricated. They start just saying every single thing that they've done because they just, I don't know, like they feel like the platform is just elevated and big to where they got to just say all these stories and tell all these things. But you don't got to do that, y'all. Y'all can keep your mouth closed, talk about the music, your relationship with certain artists. You can even talk about your relationship with some women or whatever you want to keep it on. But if you feel like it's something that's going to get you in some legal trouble, ladies and gentlemen, please keep your mouth closed on that platform. Don't, on all platforms, not just Vlad. Don't say none of that type of stuff. Don't talk about none of it if that's the case, man. But personally, I don't think Vlad TV is the police. I just think he just want his platform to be the best-selling platform, the best. He want his platform to do the best out of everybody. And I know that because he brags about the success of his platform and how he didn't got this and got that and got this and got that. So he want his platform to pop. And for it to pop, he know he got to get people to talk about all these type of street stories. So he ain't the police. He just might ask some police type shit in order for him to get some views. You know what I'm saying? He ain't the police, but he gonna ask some police type stuff for him to get the best views possible, the most shares, the most likes, the most comments, so on and so forth, man, because he know it leads to money at the end of the day. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm done talking. Peace.